All right, so we're here with another podcast from Cut That Out. This is episode 2. Last time we talked about why influences are bad. I mean, Sri Lankan influences in general. And then we talked about the job market in Sri Lanka. And today we're going to talk about something a bit more different.
Yep. So first off, thanks for the support that we got for the first podcast. Very nice. And today we're going to be talking about something that a lot of us struggle with: money, and the new form of like spending money. Like it's spending money in with more steps.
Actually, we did talk about money last time.
No,
We talked about the job market, and then we talked about how we can't even buy a vehicle here. So today we're going to talk about a different form of money, which is fake money.
yeah, it's just like buy now, pay later. That's actually the terminology.
Yeah,
Buy now, pay later. Because like, okay, I'll be honest with you, right? I do like using that service because I've used quite a lot of that service. But
We got to talk about what that service is, man.
do we actually just name it?
I mean, we're never going to get sponsored by them.
Well, it would be nice. It would be nice though.
You do sponsor us.
It would be nice.
Hit us up, all right?
It would be
Hit us up
nice.
on our email.
Okay, here's the thing, right?
But let's not name it.
Let's
Let's not name it.
on God, on God, on God. All right. So, like this service is what like a lot of us use, and even I use it, right? So let's say there's an amount of 10,000, I can just break it down and into like 3-4 months.
To be honest, they'll actually know what we're talking about. There's only 2 services like that.
No, no, no.
Really? In Sri Lanka.
Yeah, no, it's always been there.
Okay, but they'll probably know what it is.
But I mean, like you're free to decide what it is.
Okay.
This, okay. All right. Now, what do we actually say though? Like, do we start with what we actually buy and then like go on there?
We'll start with what we think, like, because the rise of this buy now pay later thing happened in the start of 2022ish, I think. Which the start of inflation, right?
2022, and then it got popular. I'd say last year and the year before that, like late last year.
It started the year before that, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the issue is that most Gen Zs use this sort of system, right? We tend to go to like some sort of cafe or restaurant or something, and we pay whatever. Like, let's say you're buying, I don't know, some food or a coffee or something for, I don't know, $1,000, right? You would pay that in a monthly installment. Monthly installment on food. Who does that, man?
You did that.
I did that. No, wait. Look, here's the thing. For me,
I financed water. You can actually do that. I financed water. It felt so good.
no, okay. Here's the thing. I think that in some ways it's good.
Okay.
Okay, buy now pay later does have its advantages, especially for electronics and vehicles, right, and things like that. Of course, that would be super useful for anyone. But I think, well, actually, no, buy now pay later is a lot more popular for things like clothes uh, and tech. I think. I'm not sure if they use it for food.
No, it's like this. Like, any sort of payment. Let's say the first month you pay like really little amount, like $500.
Yeah.
But then that amount adds up.
Yeah, it does,
Really
it does,
adds
it
up.
does.
Like if you guys buy multiple items of the same amount,
Mm.
holy moly.
Here's the thing, yeah. I mean, I did do that, okay, because I wanted to see if it actually works. Now, I have money
Okay,
in
let's
my...
see how it
Ah,
works.
no, man. I have money in my account. I can pay it off anytime, right? But I think in some ways there is an advantage here. Okay, now I'm gonna talk about some good things about here, but I know you don't like it as much because you'd rather not have debt, right? But I think in some ways, because you're not paying any interest, right? But let's say you have like a monthly income and you are not sure. Okay, this is the advantage that I think in my head, all right, logically. In my head, I'm like, okay, if you don't have enough, if you think you don't have enough money right now to pour like, I don't know, $1,500 on food, right? You'd rather pay that like only 500 right now, and you want to see if you might have like some money later in the future. You know what I mean? Do you get it? Like, let's say like you have
Keep cooking.
but let's say you have $5,000, right? You have a 5,000 window, okay? And you want to go out with your friends, but you're gonna use like this buy now pay later thing for like, let's say you pay like $500, right?
Okay.
So you might need maybe you might need like $3,000 later for something, you know? Like in your head, you're like thinking, maybe I might need this money for something more important later.
Okay. Okay.
You get what I mean?
Okay.
So maybe I'll just pay the 500 right now, wait a bit to see if I need any form of important payment later in the future, and then okay, if that payment is not needed, I'll pay off this entire thing. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I'll pay off the entire debt
All
right
right.
now. That's the only advantage I see with this. Like, that is the only. I feel like it's like a mental game, right? Because you don't want to. Of course, you don't want to have more debt, but the advantage of this is having the freedom to feel you you can spend somewhere like more important, right? Like right now, like currently right now. You know what I mean? That at least that's for me, because
Like,
my income is like very unsteady, right? It's like, okay, maybe I might get monthly income from YouTube right now, or maybe I might not, right? So I'm thinking, okay, I might get the monthly income, like maybe a lot of money, and then I can pay all of the shit off, you know? That's the only advantage I see of this.
right. For me, it's like two. I have two opinions on this, both contradicting each other. Okay. All right. Firstly, why it's all right. For me, it's just like, okay, you get the product, right? Let's say it's this it's this clock.
That doesn't even work.
Oh shit.
It's
just-
I didn't clean that in a while, man.
It's this clock, all right? You get the product, you pay about like 500, 1,000.
Mm.
You have the product. Oh, it's good. I like it. Oh, fine. You know what? I'm okay with it. Okay, and then you just pay the rest up, like the rest 2 months, rest 3 months
Yeah.
in one day.
Yeah.
But let's say you don't like it, right?
Mm.
And then the next next few months, you get a notification, oh, this amount is cut from you because of this product.
Yeah.
Like, oh, man, I really wish I didn't buy it. I mean, at that point, it's just like, oh, is this even worth buying, right? Like you kind of like see in your head, okay, if I bought this for 5,000 and I paid like $1,000 and I'm still getting charged later on for like, to cover up the 5,000, is it even worth the 5,000 I bought it? You kind of have the sense of, okay, is it worth it or not?
Yeah, no, I see your point. I agree with you there.
Mhm.
I'm just saying there are some people out there that cannot afford to spend $2,000 on food just like that, you know? I think is a really good. Shouldn't have mentioned it. We'll cut that part out. I think buy now, pay later does a good job.
No, this guy
Is also there.
No, oh my god. Jeez.
I'm out for blood. What do you mean?
Okay, funny part is everything's cut out here. No, just bleep that part out.
Okay.
All right. And yeah. Oh yeah, the second point was that why I don't like it is, okay, there's two options, right? Either you buy now, pay later, or like pay the instant amount with a bit of cashback, right? Why I like
there is
Yeah.
an option like that. Yeah.
why I like that amount is just, okay, fine, I'm actually saving some money, even though I'm spending less than what I was going to spend.
Yeah, I guess.
But-
that makes sense.
I mean, for large amounts, let's
But here's
say,
the thing is, those companies still profit off of your data, right?
oh yeah.
But you don't really care about that. No one really cares about
I mean, if you have a Gmail account, GG's.
no, but yeah, no one really cares. Yeah, if you have a Gmail account already, you're already giving your data, so it doesn't really matter at that point, you know? So I think it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things.
Oh god.
But I do think that majority of people, no, not majority actually. I don't know if many people in Sri Lanka are fake rich or real rich, right? You can't really tell nowadays, actually, especially with social media and things like buy now, pay later. And I don't really think there's a bad thing about buy now, pay later. But our point here is that majority of people in Sri Lanka have this weird issue with trying to be, I don't know if they're trying to be fake rich, because they only post like good moments on social media, right? Like them eating food and shit like that. But I don't know what's going on in their own personal lives, like, you know, whether they're making, because we talked about this last episode, and I've gotten some comments talking about, okay, like there's a lot of people that have generational wealth and inheritance and shit like that, right? So I don't think people in Sri Lanka are actually making as much money as I thought. Like even in Colombo.
Oh yeah. No, you can.
I think so because there are some people that are like their family is rich, but they're doing a job that's not even getting them as much income. Like I'm talking like maybe 50K a month,
You literally.
50K a
Yeah.
month, or even huh? What?
Yeah, no, that's true.
No, wait. What were you gonna say?
No, I was going to say like you're talking to like a very specific like set of people,
Wait. What do you mean who?
interns.
Interns. Dude.
Of
Okay.
course.
Yeah. No.
No, I agree with you.
No. But
I
no,
agree
there are
with
some people that are actually doing full-time jobs that probably pay 70K or even 80K.
That's absurd because it's actually true.
It's true.
It's actually
It's true, dude.
Because
What the fuck?
I actually searched it up on like ChatGPT on like what let's say a software engineer
Yeah.
or some sort of mid-level role,
Yeah.
and they still get paid like 70 80K.
Yeah.
Which like I mean, yo,
70, 80K, man. That's just
that's like you're helping a business out here, and like your service is good. Like what the hell?
Dude, I don't know, man. Sometimes I just can't. You know, I think. Okay, actually, I'm gonna go off a tangent here. Okay,
GG's.
there's a script like forget about this buy now pay later shit.
Oh no.
Right.
Oh boy.
Okay. I think I have a problem with. I have a no. Here's the thing. Like, it's just really hard to get rich in Sri Lanka. It's really hard, man. Like, I don't know, you know. Sometimes I'm thinking, okay, like I run a YouTube channel, right? And there are times when it's not good and it's good. So like you don't even know if it's predictable or not, right? At that point, I'm like, okay, maybe I should do a job in the meantime. But then even then, the job doesn't even. It's just so hard to be, like financially set. I would say, like financially stable without generational wealth. Like you can't. Like I can't imagine someone starting from the bottom of the bottom. You know what I mean? Like you can't. I don't even know how someone starts from the bottom of the bottom. Like if you were born in, I don't know, what tell me a state in Sri Lanka that's borderline poverty. Tell me. Like Anuradhapura?
No.
No? I don't know, like there's like so many names. Veli Agoda, some name that I haven't heard of, right? I sound really bad for saying that, but
Yeah, that's why.
but okay, just stick to my point here, right? How would you like climb up that ladder? I can't imagine just how difficult it is to climb in Sri Lanka without generational wealth. It is extremely difficult.
Oh yeah, one like
Like it's like people say you have the internet and everything, right? But you need to have some form of resources. Like, dude, for example, right? Okay, I don't know if it's only me. For example, okay, like there are times when, for myself, right? There could be times when it's hard when I can't like there are some things I need to do outside of work, right? Like for example, going out with my friends,
side
or
quest.
side quests, right? Or like I don't know, partners, things like that. Treating people, etc., etc. You need money for that. Like you need some sort of income for that, right? You can't even be mentally like stable. You can't even be mentally stable without some form of like generational wealth. I feel.
No, it's just like how much do you have at spawn, right? That's
Dude,
how it
the
is.
no,
No. Okay, wait.
spawn point matters.
Yeah, okay.
Spawn point matters.
You know, it's like
Spawn point
spawn amount. Like how much are you given? Let's say you have in your bank account about 50K already. Already 50K, and you're working a job. In that manner, if that job pays you 50K, you're in your head, you're like, okay, fine. At the end of the month, I'll be 100K. And then during the entire month, I spend about 50K as well. So you
And you're
still
just,
have
yeah, that's the thing. You're just living day like monthly. Like,
yeah,
you're
month
not-
paycheck after paycheck.
paycheck after paycheck. In Sri Lanka, I feel like I don't know if people are losing money more than they're actually gaining money.
I feel like they're losing.
They're losing.
I feel
right?
like they're
Dude,
losing.
No.
Except for the
what
people that know how to make the right decisions.
I feel like it's mostly generational wealth. They have. Where are this? Where is the money coming from? You know, where is where is the wealth coming from? I don't know.
I get that, to be honest. Like when we're talking about this and like how much money you have in your account when you get paid for a job that you have, then mint pay kind of makes sense, right? At least you're not spending all the amount that you have to spend, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you're still spending.
You're still spending.
You're still spending.
You're still spending.
And you have to understand that amount that you spend on the first month doesn't translate for like next month, because like the next month, let's say this month you buy a freaking like chocolate, right? A chocolate bar.
Yeah.
And then the next month you also buy the same thing, so you're actually paying like 2 months worth of that chocolate bar
Yeah.
the next month and the next month after that. So it kind of adds up every single month. So you can't, there are certain things you can pay with buy now pay later, and then there are some things you can't.
A fucking chocolate bar.
Dude, you need to finance water. I financed water once. Oh,
Financing water, bro.
bad, dude.
No, but I think, I'm not to go off too much of a tangent here because we talked about this last episode, but really, I think our problem is that Sri Lanka is very based on very much dependent on a plan B, because if you were to start, if you like so many people here, right, especially students, they're chasing wealth, they are chasing it, right? But I have like, after so much of self-reflection, I have realized that sometimes you just need to stick to one plan. You know what I mean? Like, last episode I was talking about a job, and then after some form of events, I'm like some events that happened in my life, right? It's been a week, right?
Okay.
I'm thinking, dude, how, like, it really comes down to time. If you were spending, let's say you want to run a business or a YouTube channel, in my case a YouTube channel, right? Now, in my case, I do game development, and to run that sort of channel, I need an enormous amount of time, right? Now, I cannot do that if I'm going to stick to my plan B, which is a full-time job. But I do need the money as well. So, you have to like think, okay, what you're gonna risk off? So what you're gonna risk, Do you want a safe option, or do you want to take the risk that might lead to exponential growth later, So many people in Sri Lanka, I feel they don't have the sometimes they don't have the resources to do that. There are so many talented people out here in Sri Lanka, okay? And some of them don't come off from well-off families, so they're forced to do the job.
Especially with like social media pressures and all that, when you see a lot of people doing so well, and like freaking like they get to go out every single day, and then you're just there, like,
Bro,
living paycheck to paycheck, or like maybe saving every single bit of amount just to go out on this one day with your friends and like really like hang out.
Yeah.
So like the social pressures are there, and with this buy now pay later options, I think it's now become so like accessible to like people that cannot like experience every single day of enjoyment and all that.
Actually, that's a really good thing.
Yeah.
That's the advantage of buy now pay later.
It's
That's
an
the advantage of
advantage,
buy now, pay later.
but then there's always, it's a double-edged sword.
It is like, let's say like you want to go to Barista, right? Barista or Java Lounge or some other cafe that offers mint pay.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, there's so many people out in Sri Lanka that they can't afford that sort of experience. What am I talking about?
You name the service.
Huh?
You name the service again.
I didn't name this. I named only Barista, man.
And mint pay. You say mint pay.
Okay, whatever, dude. Oh my god.
Okay, go ahead.
Services in Sri Lanka.
Go ahead.
It doesn't matter. Okay, so like, so barista, Java Lounge. I mean, there are some people here that can't afford that,
Mhm.
and I think it's good to give some people that opportunity, that they can actually, experience that for like a low amount, like right now, and then maybe pay off that later, I think that's good. And wait, what happens if you don't even pay later? What happens actually? What's the worst that can happen?
Okay, so I don't know about the service that we use,
Yeah.
but there was another service. So what happens is they fine you. They fine you, and then they ask for like a payment. I'm not sure what the most extreme end of like you don't actually pay it. I'm not sure what that amount is. It could be the situation that he was in,
What
where
situation I was in?
like minus values in your
Oh yeah, there was one time. Actually, yeah, let's talk about that.
dude literally had a negative 16 on a debit card. I was like,
That was some broke days. That was some very very broke days. No, I had minus 50, and minus 50 in my bank account, and you know why that happened? Because I had I think I had like $120,
Mhm.
and I no 100. I don't know how much I had. I think I just had exactly 100, and I wanted 100. So I put it in I put it on the ATM. I took 100, and it went minus. So I was like, oh shit, okay, cool, I guess. That was when I was very very broke. I was when I was very very broke. You know how I bought all of this shit? I literally did like what 3D jobs, like 3D development,
yeah, I know.
like client jobs. And you remember back then, right?
Hmm.
Oh my god, dude. And I think actually majority of people should do that in Sri Lanka just to gain some a bit of income till
Yeah, just side quests.
this side quest. Yeah.
Here's the thing, right, about freelancing and all that. No, I think he can talk more about it because he's done it. I feel like it's just you have to self motivate yourself, and also there's a lot of learning that you have to do it personally,
Yeah.
dealing with clients, doing the thing up to standard, like your own standard, and making it so that okay, if a person has a project to do, let's say make a 3D model of a freaking arm,
Yeah, or
and then
I don't
like
know,
it's
something
just
that you want to like. What would be you do like some financial stuff, right? A lot of that stuff. So what would like let's say you were working for a client, what would you do? Like what would you do like that was like let's say something freelancing, like let's say they want a financial plan, would you do that?
no, I wouldn't do that instant like because like there's a legal obligation there. It's just like first of all, it's like not financial advice. That's one. And then the next thing is like experience of that financial thing.
Oh
I don't have that.
yeah, wait, you know what? Let's actually talk about that thing because that is the biggest scam ever.
What?
Okay. I don't want to go off a huge tangent. Like, and we're at only 23 minutes, but so we have
Oh
time.
sure, yeah.
We have time here, right? So, like, I think one of the most biggest scams in the course industry. Okay, because I wanted to start a course myself on game development. No.
Buy my course, guys.
No. Hey. No. Right? Because I want to start a course on game development, but in a more authentic way, right? Because so many people on the course industry or in the course industry, they bullshit, right? Like they promise you that you're gonna be financially set, man. That is always a scam. I don't think people do it in Sri Lanka though. I don't know if there's so many people that do courses like that in Sri Lanka, but there are some people out there that do that sort of thing, and you should not fall for that shit. That is the biggest scam I've ever heard. Like, you know, like you're gonna make this amount of money, like you will get this and this. I feel like courses should only teach you a skill, and that's it. But financial stuff, that is like that gains so much money, right? What's the most popular creator? Iman Gazdi? Iman? No, he's fine. He's never gonna contact us, right? Like
Okay.
that guy, he sells these courses now. Personally, in my opinion, I feel like that's a scam. Just personally, in my opinion.
No, here's the thing. The entire thing about making money and financial literacy, it's all about you and your outlook on like what the plan is. So like other people could say, okay, you could make X amount of money, and that's based off what they did, right?
Yeah.
So they could have done certain hurdles, certain things to like make it happen.
Yeah.
But you gotta remember, their connections aren't your connections.
Yep.
So it won't really work the same way.
It won't. No. Yeah, it won't. Actually, wait, what was the other topic that we were going to talk about?
Um,
I think
Let
it
me
was no, it was something about.
real, being authentic in social media and stuff.
Oh my God! Yeah. Oh yes. That one.
Yeah, he really likes this topic so
No,
much.
no. Because, dude, come on, we see it all the time on social media.
I'm not as bothered as you are though.
No, I'm bothered because I do YouTube, right? And I really want to hear like people being authentic. Now, one thing actually, LinkedIn does this a lot where like people just say impressive, congrats. Like it sounds like that even on Instagram and TikTok in Sri Lanka, I feel, right? You just I think the problem with Sri Lanka is they have issues with trying to be authentic. Don't you feel? You founded a club, right? You founded a club that was completely separate from everyone else, right? Can we name those clubs?
Not yet.
Okay. But he started a club, right? That was completely separate from everyone else. The club, and not a nightclub and shit like that. Other this guy would be pulling up in a Lamborghini or something like that, right?
No,
Like, come on, the nightclubs are expensive.
I've never been to any of.
No. I mean, like, if you owned a nightclub.
Hmm.
Okay, but forget about that, right? So this guy started like a speech club. I can talk about that, right?
Yeah,
he
sure.
he started a speech club, right, where you give like public speeches and stuff like that, right? And what I've realized is in this particular club, I've joined this a couple of times. I've won 2 competitions. Not to brag, but like I think when I went to this club, right, so many people there. Uh, they were the most authentic people I actually found compared to the clubs that I've been in before, the speech clubs that I've been into before. Because so many people fake things in Sri Lanka. It's so fake, like very fake. And I think that's a huge issue, especially when you're joining your job market and when you're trying to be on social media. I really feel that we can't thrive as a nation when everyone in Sri Lanka is trying to be someone that they're not. You know?
Right.
Don't seriously, don't you think the same?
Like,
Someone on the internet is giving some form of some form of something. Dude, ads for example, man. They're so inauthentic, dude. No, seriously.
it's like no. What I realized, like when I was starting out, it was me and another person, and he and I, we were just thinking, okay, you know what? Like this space, this entire speech and like speaking and English space is really tough, because like in retrospect, like there's no one who's really willing to go up on a stage and speak. No one is. All right. So that was like the first issue that we had. So what we wanted to do was, or you know what, let's not force anyone to come up on stage, and let's not make it a thing that you must go up on stage, right? But let's make it an environment where people can by themselves do it. So that was what our like goal was, make an environment where people can speak their minds out based off boundaries. Of course, there was boundaries, but they can speak their minds out, and you don't have any restriction of how to say it and when to say it. Okay, and I think that's what pushed the whole authentic agenda out there, and like it also made it so that you weren't forced to follow a set standard, but then throughout it just automatically happened. We made it into a standard, and like people started, like the way people were speaking were one authentic. They spoke the way they spoke, and like it wasn't something that was taken from somewhere else.
Yeah. No, see, here's the thing, right? The reason why we, the problem is, I think it's just Sri Lankan culture, right? The reason why we're so afraid to sort of change like that is because we're afraid of being judged. Everyone people in Sri Lanka think other people are judgmental, right? Which I don't think that's the case, really. Because as far as I know, I think Sri Lankan people are some of the most friendliest people I've met. Okay, they're actually very friendly. I don't know if maybe the people I've met are fake or not, but like the people that I've met personally, they're very friendly people and they're very nice, right? So I think other people are just afraid of being judged, and that's because I mean I don't speak in Sinhalese as much, right? But when people are trying to speak English, which is not obviously not Sinhalese, like maybe some people are not just confident in English, that could be a reason why they're so afraid to be authentic in English. And but there are also people that are not authentic in Sinhala actually too. I don't know if that's a case, but I just think that in Sri Lanka we have to stop this problem that everyone is trying to be judgmental, right? Because no one is. If you're like in the end, in the grand scheme of things, you're always gonna be judged, right? No matter what you do,
100%.
you're always gonna be judged, right? So I really think that everyone should just say fuck it, like just say fuck it and just be yourself. Just say fuck it, sometimes because on social media, man, I don't want to name things. I don't want to name things, but
might be walking on thin ice right here.
okay,
But, like-
no, dude, no. You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna say it, man. I'm gonna say it because the last time on the podcast, I've already become the bad cop, I've already become the bad cop, and this guy is like trying to play on the safe side of things. Really, honestly, right? Sri Lankan social media, I think everyone's just trying to be fake supportive, man. Like,
I thought it was about
well, no, not everyone, but some people.
You're being on the safe side now.
No. I'm not being on the safe side because okay, look, there are people that support this podcast. I don't want to be like, oh, they're being fake supportive, right? Like, here's the thing. So there are just some people that they are, let's say, like, let's take something. Let's take an influencer. Let's take an influencer, right? Okay, they may post something, and maybe it's just weird, right? And they're doing something wrong. Clearly doing something wrong there. Some Sri Lankan people are kind of afraid to call them out. Why? Why are you afraid of calling someone out? I just don't get that concept, I don't get that concept. I feel like calling someone out is necessary. It is necessary, You don't, look, people think in Sri Lanka, maybe I'm only, I think this is a world issue, maybe. This could be a world issue, right? But this is what I see in Sri Lankan social media, right? Like, we're afraid of calling someone out and then dealing with that consequence, like we're afraid of coming out as mean. You know how people talk about how, like, I think people in Sri Lanka try to tone police things way too much. Like, tone policing meaning like they're trying to be nice, like passive aggressive,
I feel like there's like a fine line because for being supportive and being hateful and providing actual like criticism.
Yeah.
So criticism is like in the middle part, right?
Yeah.
So this whole like, of course, giving out fake support for something that isn't right. Let's say you do like someone is like spray painting or vandalizing a wall.
Yeah.
Sure, like that's not good, right?
Yeah.
And if it's like some very respectable place and you
Yeah,
vandalizing
yeah,
it, it's not good. And if there's support for it, then that would continue and that'll become a bad thing.
Yeah.
But then proper criticism is like, okay, you know what, cool. The art might look great. The art looks great, but I think you should probably do it on like an external wall and just bring it back.
I disagree. You don't if it's not really great, you just say it's not great. Like
With the artwork or like the act?
like if you think it's not great, just say it's not great, I think, because if I do game development, right, and if I get the wrong feedback, that's bad for me because I'm developing the game. Like, I'm developing the game for other people to play.
No, okay,
right?
let's put it in this scenario. Let's say like they say your game is good, but the way you're approaching it is bad.
Okay, like, I could take that feedback, but I really want raw honesty so that I can know where to work on. It's gonna hurt, but when you're working on something that you're very passionate about, okay, and it could be anything, you need to learn how to take the criticism.
Yeah, that was what I meant by
Like,
the whole art
dude,
thing.
no, but look, for example, in cooking, right, one of the most famous people, Gordon Ramsay, like, that guy, like, straight up criticizes you, okay, and says a bunch of like mean words to you, but he, like, you know why it's so, like, why his opinions are so valid? Why when he says something, when he says it's good, that it's so worth it because he says it's bad. Sorry, he said like so many things were bad, right?
Okay.
Like, opinion is valid when you're getting it from someone who gives you valid criticism. I have a friend of mine, all right, when I tell him X thing, or like when I show him like some form of development, I know when his criticism is good, and when his opinions are valid, because if he says my game is good, I know that it's good because he's shown me a bunch of criticism before,
Okay,
that's
so yeah.
what I mean in Sri Lanka, because in Sri Lanka a lot of people tone police things.
No, it's just
You
like
need to stop that tone police.
it's like you have to set yourself with like you have to be very credible, because like if you're a type of person to always support and always
No,
say
supporting is fine.
say
Supporting is
what
fine.
the people
Want to
need to
hear.
say, want to hear, then no, of course. But if you say what the people, like, let's say
Don't want to hear.
I criticize this game, like your game is shit,
Yeah.
and then
You always
that's
said
like,
that, but
yeah, I mean, yeah, of course. But like, yeah, it's like it's something that I want to say, but it's not something that he needs, right? What he needs is something like, okay, your controls are bad, or like
something like that. Yeah.
your gameplay is bad, or
Mm-mm-mm.
like you should probably like switch
Quit.
games.
Probably should just take another game. This
Oh
game is
God.
shit. Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
But yeah, I think there's like a fine line with what you can and what you shouldn't. You should just be like that type of person to just be, just say the right things, and of course, like playing around and banter is like comes in play like, once or twice.
Yeah, that's only if you know
But
that person, though.
yeah, of course, I don't know the person,
Yeah.
and yeah, I don't think like this whole topic is not something that I take. I find it so personal because for one, I deleted Instagram entirely because
I don't know why you deleted Instagram.
dude, Instagram is so freaking like addictive. Like I know I look okay. I wake up, I scroll on Instagram, and by magic, a freaking 30 to 40 minutes is gone off my life.
You know what? Let's talk about that shit.
Oh,
Okay?
no.
Like, no,
It's
let's
gonna be a very long
no,
episode.
Let's talk about that shit. Let's talk about that shit. Okay, just for a few more minutes, right? Actually, yeah, we've been switching tangents like over and over, and I think
Not as much as last time.
not as much as last time, yeah. But like the productivity part, right? I personally have an issue with that as well. Like, cause I have Instagram and I have to run this Instagram like on the podcast, right? So,
Nice.
Hi Instagram viewers. Anyways, yeah. So, like, I think my issue is with social media is that when it comes to productivity with it, like you have an issue when you wake up in the morning, you want to scroll, yeah. You will like just sometimes you just click it. I don't know why it just happens to me automatically as well. I realized that at some point you just know when to stop, man.
Yeah.
No. Like I'm not kidding. You have to go through so much of scrolling to know that it just leads to nowhere.
I just can't afford a lot of scrolling, man.
Man, I afforded way too much scrolling.
Ah, dude.
For example, like, dude, I watch so much YouTube. Okay, so I watch so much YouTube to the point where I know, like, okay, this is not gonna yield anywhere. I've realized this actually. Okay, for people that are addicted to social media, right? Do not take your phone in bed. Do not. Like that helped me so much. Like that actually
That
helped
is
me so
true.
much. That helped me so much because when you wake up in the morning, like you're gonna have to like get up, right? But once you get up, I swear to you, you're not gonna get on your phone. You're not gonna get on your phone and go on Instagram.
What if you get back on?
No, people don't do that. Nah, I actually, dude, it's like a psychological thing. For me, what I do is I keep my phone on my table, okay, and I keep an alarm, and then because I had to fucking like turn off that alarm, I'm like, I walk all the way, right? I walk all the way, and I'm like, oh my god, okay, it's this time. I gotta like get ready, right? Like that's what I do. That's what I do right now.
That's good. That's good.
Like this happened to me like last week, and I thought, man, my productivity has increased like tenfold, but because so many people have that issue, and actually that is a good topic to talk about, like the whole social media addiction part, man. Like TikTok, I don't know, I don't use TikTok. I feel like TikTok is the most shit platform. I don't even know why people like it. It's weird, but Instagram, it is very addictive, and it's because we really want to see what other people's lives are like, right? Like we also have this problem where in Sri Lanka, like I don't know if it's a Sri Lankan thing, but like we crave
Instant gratification.
instant gratification. That's usually Gen Z. We crave other people's like thoughts and opinions and things like that. You know what I mean?
We care too much.
We care too much. Which I don't want to be a motivational art person, but really what you should crave is the people that are in your life. You need to crave their opinions.
Insert motivational song.
No, seriously, no. Wait, give me the mic.
Shit.
Like I don't even know. Wait, I hope people heard me because the mic was like on you, right? So
I think they do.
okay, so like I think. Well, what happened?
No, go ahead.
Yeah, so people should learn how to crave the people that are close to you, like the opinions that are like not opinions, sorry, the validation. Let's say you're craving validation, right? You need to crave validation from people that are only close to you, not people that are I don't know, like you don't really know them much, right? There are some people that do that they crave validation. I feel like that's why they go on Instagram. They post a story, they post this and that. Right? They want to crave that validation. You know what I mean? I feel like that's a problem. And I think I had that issue before, you know? And this is also an issue with for me, like with YouTube as well. Like I'm too focused on what people might say. And I think that is a problem. And you can't really you will go down a rabbit hole where you will crave, like you're looking for envy, you know? That is a big issue here. And it's a huge issue with men as well, right? Because men don't really get validation. Right? They don't, right? That's why there's so many people, like so many men that suicide, right? That's like one of the most top 3 issues in the world, I think. I don't know if it is, but like it is a problem, and the way to fix that is to just stop craving validation from people that are not close to you. You know? I don't know how I came to that point, but I really think that it's something that the viewers need to hear, you know?
So yeah, on that note, like probably don't use pay now. No, buy. Oh yeah, buy now, pay later.
Buy now, pay
Use
later.
buy now, pay later in a more
We have to conclude our points.
in a more like makes sense manner. You just gotta understand you can't keep doing that. Not buy now, pay later.
Yeah.
And drop down your suggestions on what we should be talking about next time.
There were some people that talked about that. They said that they liked the topics actually, and it's very niche. It's very controversial that, you know, because a lot of people don't talk about this shit. Like so many people don't talk about shit that happens in Sri Lanka, you know, and that is the aim of our podcast. We want to talk about the issues here and in general, societal issues, country, you know, how we can improve the country, how we can stop people from leaving the fucking country, you know, because that happens a lot. And to fix that, we started this podcast, you know, we want to get people's support. So your support means everything to us. To support us, really just watch the podcast, and you know, you can listen to it at whenever you feel like it. Just, you know, turn it on 1.5x speed. Really, that's what I recommend, because sometimes it can be a bit slow, right? So I recommend you guys to watch it at 1.5x speed. You know, subscribe if you can, and if you want, you can like. I know there's a lot of the whole YouTube stuff. I don't really say this stuff, okay, because I don't really do that on my personal channel.
subscribe, turn
But-
notification on. Twing.
Yeah, but it's
Add
very
that sound effect.
very essential. We make podcasts every Sunday, and we release it like about every Wednesday to Thursday, right? So, and we also have an Instagram, and we have TikTok, which I don't really run TikTok really much, but our Instagram is very, very active, so you should probably check that out. And yeah, that's it.
All right, bet. Peace.
Bye. See you.
Potatoes. Oh!